Alrighty, hello and welcome back to the late episode of the Canadian Bowler Podcast. I'm your host, Lucas Caldwell, and as always, I'm brought to you with Daryl. What's going on, Daryl?
Hey Luke, how you doing, man?
Did I lag already?
I don't think so. No, I think we're going okay. We do apologize for the delays. We do apologize that we had to push it back to 2 p.m. Technical difficulties hit us pretty hard today, on my side especially.
Yeah, I'm at a different location, as you can probably see, so I have a little bit of internet hiccups from now and here and there. So hope with a fingers crossed that we have no problems today.
Yeah, what I can say is we do appreciate everybody for sticking around, for coming to watch us in the first place. Um, it's the two of us. Like I've always said, it's just Luke and I kind of putting this together and troubleshooting everything ourselves. So um, this has been the biggest issue that we've had, but hopefully we've ironed out a lot of it, and going forward, hopefully we're a lot smoother.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope anyways. Who knows? With our massive budget for the show, it's pretty hard to make things perfect all the time.
That's right.
But anyways, I guess we should cover some housekeeping before we get into this. Just always like to remind everybody to make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe button, because they actually do really help us a lot with growing the channel and getting us clicks and everything else, and hopefully growing our sport of lawn bowls. And commenting in the comment box and on Facebook or wherever you see the Canadian Bowler Podcast, it's all muchly appreciated. Daryl
Yeah,
with the good hand play there, helping everybody out where to
down below.
comment.
So
Yep.
there's a lot of information in the description to all of our videos. Um, like Luke said, those likes, it seems like a little thing to click that thumbs up button, but it means a huge amount to us. It gives us a little more visibility. The more likes we have, the more viewed, um, or the more we show up in other people's views, which is huge for a small podcast like ours. We don't have a budget to advertise, and uh, as much as Luke and I like to think we're big names in this business, we're not quite there yet.
Yeah, and if anybody does not want to watch the show live, it is always posted on YouTube right after the show, and we are also available on, I believe, every platform that you could listen to podcasts on. So
That's right.
whatever is easiest for you, it works for us. So we appreciate it all. Alrighty, Daryl, what did you want to start off with first?
How about I guess some good news. World Bowls has been rescheduled for 2021. That's some big news that came out since our last show.
Yeah, I'm curious, Daryl. This is a question for myself personally. I don't know if you can even answer this or if you even have an answer, but are they going to select the same team, or will there be a reapplication for that team?
That's actually a really excellent question, and I know not only has the HBC been the High Performance Committee that does the selection has been kind of wrestling with that question, and so have the athletes. That really sparks a lot of questions. You know, what between the last selection and possibly when we have to go for the next Worlds, what's happened in Canada? What has there been that makes a difference in the team? It's, and I'm sure that a lot of other nations are feeling the same way. I know, like for instance, in Australia, there was a sort of a mainstay Jackaroo on their team, Carla Krasanik.
Yep.
She was actually having her kid. I'm not sure if she had her child now or is going to have her child soon, but she had to pull out of World Bowls and make herself unavailable. But in a year, she will be available. So how does that kind of throw a wrench into stuff? So I don't have an answer for you. It makes it really, really difficult, but it kind of begs the question, yeah, what has changed, and who's still available and who can't go, and possibly who can afford to go after possibly some people have lost their jobs or things have changed and circumstances change in a year, right?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting for sure. Like, we don't even know when people are going to be able to get back out on the green to practice or train for an event or
Yeah.
train for a selection or anything. So it's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah. The other thing is, I don't know what the World Bowls event will look like in 2021. Some of those smaller countries that have really small budgets or possibly fund themselves. We,
Right.
as Canada, fund part of it through our athletes as well because we don't have the budget. Um, can we afford to go? Can those smaller countries afford to go? What's the World Championship going to look like, right?
Absolutely, especially if some of the athletes from I don't know how other countries handling it, but athletes even in Canada, a lot of people aren't probably getting their normal wages, so saving money might be a little difficult
Yeah,
going forward for the next year. And maybe some of the money that was put away for bowl savings and whatever else, like I know myself personally, you have to budget for the year, so most of that's probably going to be gone out the window if we're off of work for extended periods of time trying to pay bills and catch up and everything else.
that's right.
So yeah, it'll definitely be interesting going forward. Do you think that when Bulls season comes back into play, Daryl, do you think we're going to be able to shake hands before and after games?
It'll be interesting to see what happens because that's sort of the mainstay, nice etiquette part of the game. You shake hands, you greet each other, you say good game after the game as well. Um, who's going to be willing to do that, and who's going to be a little iffy?
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
have you been? What have you done before I shake your hand? Kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
That'll be interesting.
What's going to be the new normal? I guess is the right question.
Yeah, things are going to change, and from my work especially, like I'm here every day, all day, in this chair, in front of this computer, doing just my day job. Um, is that going to be my new normal, even when this kind of clears? I don't know.
I was actually thinking about that personally myself the other day. I know it's not really relevant to lawn bowling or anything, but I'd be curious if companies like yours actually just have people work at home. Like, why would they rent out an office if working from home is working quite well for them? And obviously companies are all about making money, right? So if they're saving money by not having a building that can house, I don't know, 25 to 100 people or more, why would they bother, right? So for all we know, it could be the normal even when things go back to normal.
Fair point, man. That's a fair point.
Yeah, I think a lot. I truly do believe a lot of things are going to change. I don't know what's going to change, but it'll be interesting.
Strange times we're in here right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, I see John Siteman talking about the Australian Open. Do you know when that was rescheduled to, Daryl?
From my understanding, it's going to happen directly after the World Bowls in 2021. They're going to tie that right in. So um, hopefully that goes off because that's a big deal for Australian bulls and for bulls around the world to
Yeah,
have the
absolutely.
biggest, most lucrative festival bulls event take place. It means a lot, and it's going to mean a lot to a lot of bowlers.
I'm actually going to ask a question out to the chat. I know we don't do this too often during the podcast, but John, living and bowling out of Nova Scotia your whole life, with the what you guys qualify for the nationals, what happens with that going forward if this whole season's squashed because of COVID-19? Do you still do you have to requalify for the following year? Does it lapse over? What do you think is going to happen there? It'd be
It's a good,
interesting to see.
that's a good question, actually. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming if nothing gets played this year, then nothing will change, but it'd be interesting to see what happens there.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, as always, guys in the chat, if you have anything you'd like to ask or comments, don't be afraid to fire them off. Unfortunately, well, I guess I shouldn't say unfortunately, we decided to not have a guest today, so you have to ask questions for me and Daryl, unfortunately. So,
We're not gonna have a guest every time. We do enjoy having the guest, having that back and forth chit chat where it's not just Luke and myself, but um, we kind of want to know what uh, what you want to see and what you want to hear about and what kind of guests you want on the show. So we always say it, and we're kind of at the point of begging you now. Let us know what you want. Who do you want to see? What do you
yeah,
want to hear? What do you want us to talk about on the show? Are there certain events or certain things that kind of pique your interest and you really want to talk about it? Here we are, and we want to do that for you. So make sure you contact us. All the stuff is in the description below. All right.
right. Yeah, exactly. So, we were making a joke today saying we need to have some sort of giveaway with our viewers so people will tell us who they want as a guest. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen right now. But um, I'd lost my train of thought, Daryl. I'll let you take over.
Well, oh, that's so cool. How about we go over to our little fun video clips that we have. So
Let's do it.
I'll let Luke set it up for you while I bring it up.
Is this the top 5, Daryl?
It is,
or what do we
yeah.
got going on?
The top 5.
Alrighty, so I don't know how many of you even know who the gentleman is. There's a gentleman by the name of Bob Menery who actually used our clip of the Nick Brett clip that we have posted on our YouTube channel, and he gave us a shout out for doing that, which we thought was quite neat. So what we decided to do was, I've seen these clips, but I have nothing written down, and I have really no idea what I'm going to say. But he commentates over sports clips. He's probably not necessarily appropriate for the stream, so we probably shouldn't play any of his. But I'll give it my best Bob Menery impersonation to see if I can commentate some of these stay-at-home top 5s.
Here we go.
Alrighty, here we go. Here's the intro.
Number 5.
I'm nervous. Oh, here we go. We got somebody in a long hallway. Wow, he's got some heat on this one. Some spicy arugula, as Rob Law might say. Wow, he's really bending. He's got a sexy bender going here. Hopefully he makes it by. Ooh, it's a squeaker. Oh, I like this. Beer kegs, I think. Oh, and the wick. The wick, the Canadian wick. He must have been watching the Canadians at the World Championships there to figure out that one. All right, number 4. I'm not sure who this one is. We're on the deck. Oh, the rub off the deck. The pool noodle to the toilet paper roll. Down the ramp and the bowl. Oh, down another ramp. And the toucher right there. Look at that in Canadian bowler fashion. The next one is always a toucher. Oh, different angle here. Big bounce there.
Number 3.
Alrighty, number 3, guys. Who do we got here? Oh, this is Ben Twist, I believe. Bulls Australia. He's in the clubhouse, I think. Oh, big whack. Off the microphone. And the front toucher. Pretty impressive stuff there, guys. He's 2 for 2. And the chalk. Number 2. Who do we got next?
Bowling Club Heineken Challenge.
Oh, I like this one. I know this clip. Off the deck, across the patio stones. That poor bowl is going to be nice and scratched after. It's rolling into the pool. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, he gets the bounce. To the beer. Oh, that bowl fell in the pool. Who's going to grab that out? Hopefully they got something to get that out. And a nice Heineken to finish it off.
Cheers, Quinn.
Never a bad thing.
Cheers,
Outside
Jekyll.
the pool. It's a nice.
Cheers, Barney. Cheers, Wallace. Cheers, Kev. Cheers, Anna, and everyone at the Nelson Bowling Club.
That end.
Number 1.
Alrighty, we got Corey Wedlock with the bowl down the table, across the other table, down the ramp, takes the wick. The mat rolls out. That's impressive. Jack down the stairs into the toilet paper. It's a goal. That's pretty impressive stuff there, Daryl. What do you think about those?
They're pretty good.
We got more.
We got some honorable mentions
Didn't know
here.
there was more. I don't know who this is. Let's see.
Bernard Biles.
Oh, through the goal. Is that the wick off the soap? Squeaks through the table legs. Oh, and he scores 2. Look at that. Man, I'd be so scared to roll that. Imagine you dropped that and just annihilated the tile. Under the table.
It's a lot of toilet paper.
And the strike. Yeah, pretty fun stuff there, guys. I don't know how many of you guys have seen out there. We actually we're talking about this too. If you guys get creative and want to send us in some of your clips, so we can maybe do a Canadian bowler top 10 or top 5 on your clips, that'd be kind of fun, I think.
That's a great idea, Luke. Yeah, if you guys, all our contact details are below. Just tag us in videos, Twitter videos, IG videos, whatever it is. Show us your creativity. We're kind of, isolated in our houses. We're not out on the greens doing stuff. But if you have some creative, cool stuff that you can do with your bowls and on a bowling kind of theme, do that stay-at-home challenge, and we'll be happy to put your videos up on our channel. Share them with everybody and put them on the show as well. That'd be really, really cool to see. Canada's stay-at-home challenge.
Yeah, that'd be kind of neat. I know we've seen Rob Law do it, but it's nothing impressive. So I'm sure someone can beat him for a better one. So
Yeah,
I'd love to see that, guys. Whoever you are out there, everyone's got a cell phone. Everyone can record a video, so don't be afraid.
that's right.
Maybe I'll have to try and figure something out too. Well, Daryl, is it time or not yet?
Yeah, I guess. You want me to transition over to my segment?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, guys, I've got another coach's corner for everybody this week. I think it's kind of a timely thing. It's a little longer than my normal coach's corners and a little more wordy, but with the times that we're having right now, I know that I've gone through it myself, but I know family members, friends, acquaintances, and other bowlers are going through similar things with the world changing, being a little isolated, possibly alone, not with a wife or children or friends or anything. It's dealing with your emotions, dealing with stress, dealing with distress during this time. So managing feelings, managing distress, and persevering through it. We're in a strange time. So a lot of this information is useful for this particular time. We're in a pandemic. It's striking the whole world. People are in panic. People are not sure what's going to happen going forward. But you can use this now, and you can also use this when you're bowling. Take the bits and pieces that you can take from what I'm going to say about emotions, how to calm yourself, what to do when you get into tight situations, that kind of stuff. Everything is useful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this. You'll be able to see the video here and on our YouTube channel. But there's also a workbook, and the link to the workbook is below. And a lot of the information I have posted here will be in that workbook, as well as activities that you can go through to kind of understand how to do stuff yourself, how to manage your emotions, and possibly just how to get yourself out of a little funk if you're, stuck in the same room every day, stuck in the same house, and you just want to find ways to calm down or do stuff. Okay. So the first slide I have here is take time for yourself and take care of yourself. I know there's other people out there that are having a lot of problems, probably some that are more unfortunate than a lot of us out there in circumstances that are a lot more unfortunate than ours, but make sure you take care of yourself. You're important. Take time to do the things that will help you, okay? Create and maintain a healthy lifestyle. Make sure you're getting physical activity. Make sure you're still getting a little bit out of the house. If you have a backyard, that's great. If you have a balcony, that's great. If you have neither of those, sometimes it's just getting out and walking around the block. Make sure you have some physical activity in there and get stuff moving. And also have a balanced diet. Make sure you're getting stuff and cooking for yourself. Take some time to learn some new recipes, some healthy stuff. Enjoy the time and eat well. Make sure you're eating well. Make sure you're communicating with friends and family. I'm lucky. My family has jumped onto Skype, and I get to talk to both of my sisters and my dad daily, almost daily. I talk to Luke all the time. I talk to some of my friends as well through Google Hangouts and whatever it is. Make sure you keep those connections going. They're really important now more than ever, okay? Learn how to meditate. Meditation can be super, super good for you as a person, just to bring yourself into calm. Let you think about the stuff that's going on. Get those deep breathing exercises going, and this can tie into visualization and stuff you can do to prepare yourself for a bowls game. Okay, meditation is awesome. It doesn't have to be 2-3 hours of meditation. You can take like 20 minutes, half an hour, get in a small time where you isolate yourself, do the deep breathing, get yourself into a state where you're calm and you're thinking things through clearly, and hopefully it's a big benefit to you. Increase your outdoor time and physical activity. I kind of mentioned that a little earlier. Just keep that up. Make sure you're getting some fresh air, make sure you're getting some sun if you can out there. Just get some physical activity. Listen to some music and relax in your favorite chair, right? Or find a place that you can listen to calm music and enjoy it. Okay, enjoy the time that you have alone and find ways to really make it a great event rather than something that's sad or on the negative side. Okay, read a new book, cook a new recipe, bake, be creative. Just get those creative juices flowing. Find something new to get involved in. I take a lot of time with this podcast and trying to put stuff into it, and I found this is a great outlet for me to do that. Communicate with people, communicate with Luke, and come up with ideas on what to do. It's great. It's something new. Focus on yourself and your well-being, and to be in a good state, and then you can focus on others. Okay, if you're not in a good state yourself, you're not going to be a great help to other people. So take care of yourself first. And this goes for bowls as well. Sometimes teammates can focus too much on the other person, trying to make sure they're okay, and completely fall apart themselves. So take care of yourself and then take care of others. It's kind of like an airplane, right? Get that gas mask, put it down on yourself, make sure you're okay, and then work on the other person. This is a big one, and I'm struggling with this right now. Be mindful of your sleep patterns. Okay, I'm having a real tough time with it. My routine has been all over the place. So find a routine, same bedtime and same wake time each day. This was a great part of my work routine. I'd get up every day at the same time, have my routine, get my coffee, get my breakfast, go into work, and do my work, and then come home and then go to bed at an appropriate time to do the same thing again tomorrow. Get that routine in. I'm trying to reset my thing as well, just to get my routine straight, be in a good headspace, wake up the same time every day, be ready and refreshed and ready to go. It's a big deal. You have no idea how much sleep can help you. If you have trouble falling asleep, get up for 20 minutes, do something. Get your mind into something else, do an activity, clean something, whatever it is, and then try to go again. It doesn't always work, but it's something that you can try to do. Okay. This is something I have a problem with because I'm a caffeine addict, but try reducing or avoiding caffeine, alcohol, and nicotine. Especially try not to have these 4 to 6 hours before you go into bed. They can have an adverse effect on everything that you do. So try to reduce it, try to avoid it as much as possible, and get that sleep in, okay? That is for sleeping, okay? Keep that as your sleeping place. Don't try to do work in it. Don't break out the laptop and start typing away and doing work in bed. Don't try to do other activities than your routine. Get into bed, read a book, listen to music, and then fall asleep. Okay, associate that with sleep. Don't associate that with a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay. And then have a bedtime ritual. Find a way to trigger yourself into sleeping. Have a routine, stretch, meditate, read, hit those points so that okay, I'm gonna go to bed, and away you go. And I struggle with this as well. Reduce your screen time before going to bed, checking those Twitter feeds and Instagram feeds and all that kind of stuff, and checking your email, maybe looking at videos before you go to bed. That can kind of amp you up as well if you get the wrong one. And don't watch the clock. It's a terrible, terrible thing to do. Some common coping pitfalls. So some things that we can get into that are negative towards our ability to cope with stressful situations, dealing in an environment like we are in today. Avoidance, okay? Fear is what alerts us to danger, okay? We're afraid of something. We know something's coming up that can really, really trigger us. So we may get into trouble by simply trying to avoid issues, okay? You get afraid, you just completely avoid it. You don't deal with it, okay? Unlike distractions, setting aside your, which distractions are just setting aside your worries a little bit, distracting yourself so that you can get into the right headspace to deal with it. Avoidance is just completely not dealing with it. And we need to be able to deal with the events that we are in. Some things are out of our control, okay? We need to deal with these things with the advice of professionals, the health professionals. Okay, avoidance would be, I'm not going to follow these instructions because I don't want to deal with the reality that we're in. Okay, we're not in a pandemic. Everything's made up. We don't want to deal with it, so we're going to put it away. Make sure you understand what's going on. Come to the acceptance that we're in the situation that we're in today, and do everything that you can to make it better for yourself. Okay, don't get caught up in repeatable things just to distract yourself and keep you locked away, like just reading social media all the time, online gambling all the time, getting shopping addictions. All those things can really be destructive if you just loop yourself into that mindset. I'm going to distract myself with all this, buying stuff, getting stuff in, feeling better about yourself. It's going to hurt your finances. It's going to hurt your relationships. It can be a really, really terrible spiral to go down. Numbing or withdrawing. It's a major pitfall, and people struggle with it. Okay, numb yourself and withdraw completely, right? Using drugs or alcohol in excess to just completely disassociate yourself from what's going on. Okay, things are happening. We need to be together. Reach out to people and talk, and let's help each other through this situation. Okay, we don't need to get into these negative areas to deal with the situation. We can deal with it in a positive way and go and deal with it together. And anger. Anger is a big one. You get angry. Okay, I can't do the things that I want to do. I can't get out on the bowling green and do the things that I want to. Okay, you get sad and you get anxious, and then it can turn into anger, and you can actually force that onto people that you don't really want to do that to. Okay, and it can combine with all the other things that I'm on this side I'm talking about. Okay, you know, you use drugs and alcohol, you can get super angry with them, and then you lash out and do things that you don't want to do. So I've got a neat little wheel here. One thing with dealing with emotions is being able to identify them. So what emotion am I feeling? Is it really anger? Am I just really afraid? Is it terror? Do I have anxiety that's manifesting itself in a certain way? So this wheel kind of gives you an idea of what kind of feelings that you're dealing with, good and bad, and some of the things that go along with it. The closer you get to the center, the more, I guess, visceral or more intense the feelings are, because you can see rage is in there, terror, grief, but also ecstasy and loathing. And as you get out, you see things that are a little less. Terror goes to fear, goes to apprehension. So this is in the workbook, and there's a lot more explanation in the workbook, so make sure that you see that link, okay? Practice emotional regulation, okay? The ability to control how your emotions influence you, okay? Are you going to get angry and lash out at somebody that you don't mean to? How can you control that? You are angry, you're frustrated, maybe, you're anxious. How can you deal with that? Okay, we need to be able to deal with that ourselves, so we don't project that onto other people. We don't lash out at people the wrong way. Understand your feelings and try to identify it and try to handle it in a productive way, okay? And can you label your feelings on this wheel, right? You feel really hot and really bothered, it can be anger. You feel a heaviness on you and something is just kind of weighing you down, it can equal sadness. And you get those butterflies in your stomach, you can feel like anxiety. So try to match those things up and understand what you're actually feeling. And this goes to bowls as well, right? Yeah, before a bowls event, I get butterflies, I feel anxious, I'm ready to go. How do I use that and make it productive and positive for me when I go into the game? Okay, can you accept this emotion? Can you accept that you're angry at this time? Can you accept that you're sad or that you're in a state of fear, right? What is it telling you? What can I do to make it better? How do I engage all those emotions and make it into something that I can work with? And this was a term that I found in the workbook that I really actually wasn't sure about, but I actually like. So radical acceptance. So it's accepting the present without an intense desire to change it. Okay, not fighting the reality of what is going on around you. Don't resist the things that are not going the way you want, and avoid the bitterness involved when things don't go your way. Okay, this is great for bowls. Okay, this is great for wick shots and bad shots and missed opportunities and all that kind of stuff. but it's also good for the environment we're in today. Okay, we can't control what this virus is doing. Okay, we can control what we do and how it affects us and how it affects other people. So don't get bitter at all the stuff that's happening out there. Work on yourself. Do what you can to make things better, and make things better for yourself, and make sure it's better for the people around you. And that's going to help everybody out, right? Realize that life is worth living and that things can be enjoyable even when tough and difficult events like this happen. Okay. COVID-19, it's changed our world. We're doing things in a different way. We're isolating, we're social distancing, we're doing things to try to make things better so we can get back to a normal. But we have to realize that, you know, we're still going, we're still doing things. We have great things in our life, friends, family, all this good stuff. So focus on that. Don't focus on the fact that you can't do some of the things that you normally do. Accept the facts and reality of the situation, even though it's tough, right? Understand what is out of your control and what is in your control. That's important. Things we can control. There's things that we can't control. So understand both of them and understand what you can control is what you should be focusing on. What you can't control is going to happen. You can plan for it. You can try to mitigate it, but you can't control it. All right. We are in this situation, but we can accept it and we can work on it. Our lives have changed, but we aren't ignoring it. We can adapt and we can manage under these circumstances. Okay. And dealing with stress. So there's a whole bunch of ways that you can deal with stress. In a time like this, and even in bowls, we can get in stressful situations, not know how to deal with it. Things can happen, like I said before, we get into emotions, we get into doing things that we don't normally do just because we're angry or we're upset, or and we treat people poorly as a result of that. It's really can be quite awful. So you look for ways to both accept what is happening and also look for ways to improve the situation and the feelings. Okay, find ways to help either be active or to soothe things. So you can either work off all this stuff by exercise, you know, clean, cook, read, do dishes, do a puzzle, do something different, be active and get your mind going. Or if it helps you, do the soothing side. Okay, have a really good meal, take a long shower, meditate, have some quiet time and do some really slow breathing. Okay, you either work it off or you soothe it, and it's a great way to deal with stressful situations, to get yourself into a good mind space, be positive, and then deal with the situation. Distraction activities to reduce the stressful situation, and to reduce the intensity. So we've got a bunch of things on here. There's these words that were put up there: accepts. So it's activities, contributing, comparisons, emotions, pushing away, thoughts and sensations, and then there's stop. You know, stop what you're doing, take a break, observe what's going on around you, and then proceed mindfully. And there's a lot of other skills out there. The workbook attached will give a lot more information on this, and it's really, really good resource. So I keep telling you to look at it. So, and self-compassion. This is important. Take care of yourself. Okay. Have compassion for yourself. Be a good friend to yourself. Do things that are good for you. Do things that are going to help you. Be positive. Stay healthy. Be active. All that kind of stuff. Okay. Don't let yourself get into a negative spiral. Reach out to friends. Be social. Even though you can't connect physically, you can connect through Skype. You can connect through Google Hangouts and all that kind of stuff. Just pick up the phone and call them. There's a lot of stuff. Be a good friend to yourself and be a good friend to others. All right. And be good to each other and be good to yourself. And there we go, Luke.
Oh, sorry. I was just practicing my meditating while you were doing that there. I was thinking about Cameron's diet, so.
Yeah, Cameron, I don't know about your diet, buddy, but I hope that was good for everybody. I know it's a lot of information. Like I said, there's a good workbook in the description below. it's really important that we take a lot of this stuff to heart and start working on our emotions and our connections and everything. It can be a huge difference to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely can. There's definitely a lot of good stuff in there, Daryl. I enjoyed listening myself. Alrighty, should we move on to the last segment of the show today, Daryl?
Absolutely.
Alrighty, moving on to the greatest lawn bowler of all time.
So we've been putting this out there. We've been trying to get people to vote. We had our first round of 8 competitors go through, and that ended this Thursday. So the winners were Alex Marshall 90-10 over Rob Perella. Karen Murphy won 94-6 over Laura Daniels. Kelsey Cottrell won 64-36 over Robert Wheel from Wales. David Bryant beat Dick Folkens 72-28. Norma Shaw beat Lorna Trigwell 71-29. Paul Foster beat Jerry Baker from South Africa 91-9. And on the final bracket, which was a really close one, Kelvin Kirko beat Andy Thompson 51-49 to make it on to round 2.
Yeah, some close ones and some blowouts. You know, not bad to see. Not bad to see.
So we've got another 8 that will be posted. The polls should be actually going up any minute, if not already.
I think they're already live.
Yeah, they should be live. For those of you listening, for those of you that are really interested in this and are having fun with it, you know, learning about the players, voting on this, share it. Please share it. Make sure that people you know, your club mates, your teammates, all that kind of stuff, see this, have fun with it. Okay? See how many votes we can get, see how many people we can get engaged in this kind of event. It's just a load of fun, you know? It's not gonna really set somebody up as the greatest of all time in everybody's mind, but it's just a fun activity that we're doing during the isolation. All right.
Yeah, and absolutely. Sharing it's great, and it's only 2 clicks away from sharing a post. So we'd appreciate it if everybody hit that little share button, get lots of votes, get lots of people interested. Be a good time.
And as Luke always said, you know, every like, every share, every comment, every view that we get, it means a great deal to us. It may seem like a small thing. Oh, you watched the video, big deal. Oh, you clicked the like button. It's just a thumbs up. For us, it means the world. Every like, every view, every subscription, everything that we get makes this show bigger and better. And it gives us motivation to just keep doing it for you guys.
And if it another big thing about it is what we're trying to do, obviously, with the show is to reach as far as we can and get as many people interested in the sport as we can, and just to give everybody a little bit of inside analytics. Just over the last, since we started the podcast, 3 months ago, Daryl, we've had nearly 1 million impressions, and that's just on anybody who's even seen the video. And we're like really, really close to breaking that 1 million impressions mark. So that's a pretty big deal for us. So
Huge.
Just every share, everything that we get definitely helps that number and helps people notice the podcast and notice the sport of lawn bowls. So appreciate it very much.
And guys, along with this GLOAT tournament, I've been digging around YouTube and all that kind of stuff, trying to find old videos on a lot of these players that some of you might not know. So on our YouTube channel, we've got a ton of old videos from the 80s right through to now on players that are in this, some of the stuff they've done previously, some of the stuff they've done recently, and we're going to keep posting stuff. So go on, take a look at these videos and get a little history lesson on some of the absolute phenomenal legendary bowlers that are in this tournament.
Yeah, there's some awesome clips up there that, I mean, I've seen some of them before, haven't seen some of them, and it's been pretty fun watching those clips and being able to share them with everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Daryl? Do you got anything else for today?
I think that was it. There's we want to just engage you guys as much as possible. So we keep saying it over and over. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know the guests. Let us know the topics that you want to hear about. I'm happy to put out a coach's corner on anything that you guys want to see. And I know Luke is happy to research and do talks and bits on
About
other stuff that
anything,
you
yeah.
might want to see. So we're out here for you guys.
And as for our next show, as of today, we do not have a guest dialed in. So if anybody has any ideas, whether they're Canadian, American, Australian, anywhere across the world, male or female, young or old, we don't care. So if anybody any ideas, don't be afraid to pop those out, and we'll do our very best to get all the spicy guests we can get for the podcast. We're lucky enough to have a lot of connections around the world in the sport of bowls, so I think we'll be able to pull some pretty big name guests if that's what people want to see. So any sort of advice from you guys would be awesome. And guys, just remember to always hit that subscribe button, the like button, and the share button. It really does mean a lot to us, and it helps the podcast a lot.
It does.
And with that being said, guys, I guess that's it for this week. Sorry if it's a little bit shorter. And again, I wanted to apologize for all of our technical issues and internet issues, but things happen. So, guys, until next time, I hope all your shots are touchers. And remember, be safe.